Welcome.
Go.
One more.
Go. 3, 2,
3.
Go.
Welcome to the Man's Cats podcast. I'm your host, the All-Father.
And I'm
Colin himself. And
I'm your daddy.
And he's your daddy. DNA tests came back. It's positive. He's your daddy.
It's positive. We're sure.
He went to the store to grab a pack of smokes, but he's back.
I'll be back soon, kids. Dude, what is up, man? Oh,
I mean, for the audio listeners who can't tell, Dalton is, he's channeling what is known on the interwebs as Dark Brandon right now.
Darth Brandon.
Dark Brandon.
I'm gonna go with Darth because I feel
Darth
like it's
Brandon.
Sith Lord.
Yeah, he's got a bright red background, not as dark red as Senor Biden's at his recent speech.
I wonder if I can make it dark. I don't know.
You're trying to make it darker.
I don't know. Whatever. It's okay.
Just say angsty things and make it darker.
I made it dark to channel the dark energy of our emperor, our beloved emperor.
Yeah. So that's big news. People were all hubbub about it last week. Mr.
What did
Biden
he say?
Had a speech where he said that MAGA Republicans are extremists and and he kind of really didn't define what that was, but he said people that were anti-women's rights, and he included abortion. I'm like, okay, well, you're kind of conflating almost every Republican now, because most of them, they're pro-life. So
if you're a Republican,
you're an extremist.
Which an extremist, I heard, I don't know if this is true, but it's a synonym for terrorist.
Whoa, you're a terrorist, dude.
So you're a terrorist, which means you're illegal. Not
me, dude. I'm just an anarchist.
Yeah,
I'm not to burn.
I don't identify as a D or an R. I simply am. So.
You don't identify as a D or an R. Simply exist. Are you an I then, or an L?
Some might consider me an I.
I will admit I'm a registered L, but I'm more of an F. You know what I mean? Like an FU, just to the whole thing.
I actually don't know what I'm registered as.
You should probably figure that out.
I think I actually registered. I might be an R. I don't know. Here's the thing. The last time I voted, they sent my ballot back. I sent it in wrong or something.
We don't really want your opinion.
That's what I was kind of offended. I was like, well, thanks for sending it
it's
back.
A conspiracy. Is it just because I voted for Hillary?
I wrote myself in. I
thought maybe that's why they sent it back. They're like, this guy's too dangerous to get to power.
He's a T. Terrorist.
He's a T.
Terrorist.
He's the T in the LGBT.
Yeah, dude, I am the T.
He's a he, she.
Anyway, we're here with some tea for you guys.
Dude, give me the tea.
Dude, well, what kind of tea you got? Well, go ahead. Yes,
we have billions and billions and billions of listeners in the show, do we not?
We do, and we have billions of tea too. Dude, honestly, we should call this episode the Boston Tea Party, because that's how awesome this is right now.
How awesome is it? The Boston Tea Party. Do tell.
Dude, I'm just excited because we've been talking about Andrew Tate, and I did my research. I looked him up. I did a thorough analysis because somebody recently, without naming names or anything, they told me that
were they white?
Hey man, we're not going to disclose anybody's gender. I feel like that's offensive. I mean race, whatever.
Yeah. No, you're right. Their gender.
Their gender.
We don't know their pronouns.
Which reminds me of another topic we were talking about earlier. So we'll touch on this. I'm going to say it right now. I'm going to say this. They told me that, and now the quote might not be totally correct. Colin's eating a waffle.
Mm-hmm.
But basically they said that Andrew Tate is the reason that a bunch of 10-year-olds are just being mean to teachers, just being really bad students and just treating women horribly. And they essentially, they were like, well, if you had a little girl, would you believe in Andrew Tate? And I'm like, first of all, I
What I believe in Andrew Tate?
I know I don't believe in him. I don't know if that was the wording, but
in the name of Andrew Tate.
Yeah, I don't do anything in the name of Andrew Tate. But I looked him up. I specifically looked up Andrew Tate and women. Like listened to all the things about him and women. Dude, the guy's not a bad dude. I'm going to say that right now.
Dalton, for the past couple episodes that we mentioned this, he's been like, now I don't agree with Andrew Tate. I don't even know what he says. I've never listened to his stuff, and now he's like, I listened to some stuff, and honestly, kind of awesome.
I don't. It's not that I don't agree with everything he says, but some of the things I'm like, he's honestly like a pretty reasonable dude. Like at one point, he's like talking about, he's like, well, men have higher IQs on. Like not on average, but he said men have the top of IQs as well as like the lowest. He's like, and he basically said it. I'm basing all this off of one study and life experience. And then somebody pulled it up and he's like, it was a girl who held the highest IQ. And he's like, well, then I was wrong. Like, that's it. And it was it. And it was like, this guy seems extremely reasonable. Like, I don't understand what the issue is.
Yeah. And the other thing is like the thing that everyone approaches, like whenever Andrew Tate is brought up, you have to be like, oh, I don't agree with everything he says. Well, that should be like the base level. Like, I don't know anyone that I agree with 100,000%. I'm sure I can find something that I disagree with almost everyone. And that's not the point. The point is people try to conflate that with, well, he should be demonetized. He should be taken off platforms. He shouldn't have access to the public discourse. He's going to influence young men to bully teachers.
Yeah, if they're bullying their teachers, then I'm going to argue that's poor parenting. I'm going to say that right now. Don't let your kid bully your teachers. Quit being a pushover. Maybe you shouldn't let that happen. I don't know.
Yeah, spank the kids.
Yeah, hit them.
Right.
Open hand.
Open hand.
Or whatever's legal. I'm not sure. You karate chop them.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, the type of blame that goes on, you play the blame game, you say, hey, if we let this person spread their dangerous ideas, then people are going to do bad things. They're like, do you know what happened when he was kicked off of YouTube? He didn't have like a substantial following, a substantial subscriber count. He has now, he's on the way to 1 million on Rumble, because he's been canceled. Like, this makes a person infamous. It doesn't stop their ideas.
I wouldn't have listened to Andrew Tate if they didn't make a big deal.
Dalton is now a member of Andrew Tate's religion because they canceled him.
Dude.
You created the radical.
He's got a cult.
He's got
honestly, a cult. Women are property, okay? Bibbity boppity, women are
property. Bibbity boppity.
Dude. And he says that, and that's one of the things I don't necessarily agree with.
Oh yeah, not necessarily that. Yeah,
not necessarily.
Yeah, totally.
It depends.
I mean,
it depends if when you
sometimes you lease your women. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
sometimes you don't own them; you lease them.
My biggest issue with that is, dude, like when you get married, you don't have a bill of sale. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where's the receipt?
How do you have legal property without a receipt? You don't, dude.
Right.
So it's an invalid argument right there.
Totally. I agree. I mean, we debunked it here first.
Yeah. So if you care to argue, I mean, please.
Yeah. Or if you care to start giving receipts when you give your daughters.
Well, then we can talk about that, right?
Then we can talk about it.
Yeah. If you're trying to get a receipt out there, then one could argue that there is property. But without a receipt,
bibbity boppity, she ain't your property.
She ain't your property, you know? So, and you heard it from us first. So that's an easy way to solve that problem.
Yeah. Here's the thing. You fight bad ideas, right? If you believe he has bad ideas, you fight him with good ideas. You debate, you clarify, you win people over. That's the only time I've ever been convinced, right? Do you think that like people hear an idea, they're like, yeah, I like this guy. And because you like take him off the platforms, you think they're like, oh, he's not on the platform anymore. I guess he's not right. No, that's not what they think. They think he was onto something. He must be. That's why they took him off, because he sees through the matrix.
Right. Yep. Well, I mean, think about it, dude. What did Hitler do when he came in charge? He burnt all the books, people with dissenting ideas.
Dude, are you comparing the mainstream media to Hitler?
It's not what I said.
It's what you meant, though.
Possibly.
Anyways, it's pretty crazy. Just don't silence people. You know what I mean? Like combat their ideas.
Let their crazy ideas be the ruin for themselves.
Seriously.
It's bound to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I've even talked to Jordan Peterson, but apparently he's been, demonized, so people don't like him either.
We'll bring that up because here's the thing. Dr. Peterson, and I do say doctor because he is a doctor, right?
PhD, not med.
PH, lowercase. I don't actually know what the P and the H and the D are for, but I know that it means doctor. All right.
It means he's actually a professor at the University of Toronto.
He was a professor, and he first came under fire. Let's just take a little background on Dr. Jordan Peterson. First of all, hates trans, hates him. I'm just kidding. No.
I was like, really?
No. So he first came into notoriety because he kind of opposed in Canada their laws about being required by law to use people's pronouns, and he's like, hey, listen. He even said, like, I would use the pronoun of someone in my class if they asked me to. Right. But that's not what this is about. This is about compelled speech by law, by government gun. Right. And the guy's very anti. Yeah. He's anti-communist. Like, he wrote the foreword for the Gulag Archipelago. He did prominent research and studies on, like, the kind of, like, philosophical question. Like, could we all be Nazis if we were put in the right circumstance and all stuff? So, like, very interesting stuff.
He's a very fascinating individual.
Fascinating guy, very anti-communist, very anti-Nazi. Obviously, hates him.
Not a huge fan of Nazis.
Not a huge fan of the Nazis. All right. So obviously hates Andrew Tate, who's a Nazi. I'm just kidding. No. But recently we have a new movie coming out, and new movies have kind of sucked. Let's be honest. There's not been great ones. There's been decent ones. But that's because we kind of had a backlog before the pandemic. You know what I mean? There's kind of every single movie it kind of built up, and they're like, we're going to release this when the pandemic's over so we can get the maximum audience attendance in theaters. And they were kind of right for Top Gun because that smashed. All right. Dalton's not a fan of Top Gun.
I didn't say I wasn't a fan. The original one, I'm not a huge fan of. The second one was like, is decent.
What, you don't like a little bit of playing with the boys?
Best part of the movie.
Shirtless men, volleyball, not just shirtless in denim.
It's true.
They're like, we can't even change into shorts for this.
And to be fair, I have started to try to incorporate that into my own look. A lot more shirtless denim.
Yeah, shirtless and denim. It's the look.
It really is.
Anyways, so this new movie coming out, Don't Worry, Darling. Kind of produced and directed, I think, by Olivia Wilde. And Olivia Wilde, she spoke on a little bit of the explanation for the movie and its inspiration. Okay. And this is what she said, more or less.
Tell us what she said.
Well, she talked about Jordan Peterson, surprisingly, who's not in the movie, by the way. But she says that Chris Pine's terrifying character in her newest movie is based on the controversial Canadian psychologist and author Jordan Peterson. She says in the psychological thriller, that's what this is. It's like a murder psychological thriller thing. That we base this character on this insane man, Jordan Peterson, who is a pseudo-intellectual hero to the incel community. She further explained that incels is a community of disenfranchised, mostly white men, not a thing, by the way, they're not mostly white, who believe they are entitled to sex from women.
Are they really not mostly white?
I mean, there's no prescribed racial component to this group, this ideology. It's kind of like MGTOWs, like similar to MGTOWs. Remember when we went, men go their own way?
Right,
yeah,
right.
It has nothing to do with race. It's all about like the relationship between men and women.
Right.
So they believe that society has now robbed them, that the idea of feminism is working against nature, that we must be put back into the correct place. So this guy, Jordan Peterson, is someone that legitimizes certain aspects of the incel movement because he's a former professor, he's an author, wears a suit. So they feel like this is a real philosophy that should be taken seriously. Talk about insanity. That's not in the slightest true. I speak as someone who's read his books.
I've read portions of his books.
They're good stuff.
They are good. I don't disagree. I know.
Yeah.
most of the content of at least the first one.
Now, the other thing is, like, you could find hours and hours and hours, and I do mean hours because he lectures. He has like YouTube videos from his lectures and his university days. And
Well,
then
that's
also,
part of what made him popular, wasn't it?
Yeah, so his YouTube videos got big online.
Yeah.
Because he would just go, he would be in class, and I'll be honest, I don't know if this is the most effective way to teach, but it was interesting to listen to. He just rants, dude. He rants on like Kierkegaard, Jung, Freud, like all these, Well,
he's interesting to listen to. That's part of the. I mean, it works for him. I wouldn't say it works for everybody.
Yeah.
So I don't know, my opinion. But it's interesting that he's got a murderer based off of him.
This is the thing that he was on Joe Rogan recently, and Joe Rogan reiterated this. He's like, I don't know anyone that's more misrepresented than you in the public namespace.
He's such a nice guy. He's a sweetheart.
He's a sweetheart. And that's us doing our Jordan Peterson impressions. It's like, you got to be dangerous.
Yeah, well, I'm very careful about the things, the way I word things because
I'm a hero to incels. It matters.
because my white following is really looking up to me. My white Canadian male following. Let's be clear. These are all Canadians. Incels are Canadians.
Yeah, there are
no Americans
that are incels.
It's just yet another thing that is bad about Canada, and we need to. We probably
need to invade them.
We need to get rid of Canada. We need to annex Canada, and save Jordan Peterson, dude. That's what we need to do. Save Peterson.
I agree. Canada. I couldn't agree more. And he just talks about cool things. He talks about, I think I'm trying to think of like why they would confuse him with incels. Incels stands for involuntary celibate, by the way, in case you didn't know. It means that they're celibate, meaning they don't get it, but not by choice.
So for you illiterate fans out there, which is probably most of you,
all
of you, me included, apparently that means they don't
get jiggy with it.
They don't get jiggy with it. They don't hanky pank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no Hank or Pank.
And this is not just because they're like good Christian boys or whatever. It's because
it's involuntary.
It's involuntary.
They're like the draft that's going to happen when we take over Canada. Because we need everyone we can get
to go over there and invade those maple leaf, those sons of bees,
those maple sucking people, the French speaking. In fact, we could probably settle on just invading half the country.
So which provinces are we taking? We taking Saskatchewan?
You're right, dude. We need to take it all. We need to take it all. There's not a single part of Canada.
But it's dangerous over there. You know how they don't have guns?
Because I heard bears are becoming a problem.
Yeah, and they don't have guns.
To protect themselves from bears.
Do you know that there was a stabbing spree recently?
Shut up. Are you being serious?
I am being serious. Okay. Now,
in Canada, there's a stabbing spree.
There was a stabbing spree. But this is the thing. I need to establish this.
I'm fascinated by this.
In the U.S., how many people does it take for something to be called a mass shooting?
I believe it's
outside of Chicago.
Is Chicago different?
Yeah, in Chicago, it's just gang violence.
Okay.
It doesn't make the news because it's every weekend.
It's 4 people. I think it's 4 fatalities, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Well, Saskatchewan stabbings. First of all, say Saskatchewan 5 times fast.
You can't. I've tried.
Saskatchewan sauce. Anyways, so 10 people killed. 18 people. 10 killed.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And then 18 additional people injured in knifing. 2 suspects. One of them already dead. Knifing.
Is that what they're calling it? Is that actually what they're calling it?
It's a stabbing. So they're calling it a stabbing and knifing.
Okay. I was like, a knifing?
Now, what's your take on this? Because my coworker today, his first reaction was like, why didn't someone just attack them? I'm not going to die from a knife. Dude, I think knives are dangerous. I don't know, man.
No, they're super dangerous, dude. Like, I've had to train with...
Yeah? You train with fake knives, right?
Well, we've had to train in situations
collapsible?
No, we didn't.
Are they real?
We had like they have like
We're gonna have an Alec Baldwin situation, but with a knife.
Oh, dude, heavens no. That's a crazy situation too, but we're not going to talk about that.
We're not going to get distracted because we're talking about Saskatchewan and their stabbings.
They're talking about knifings, and it's not funny at all that 10 people died, by the way. But the fact that they call it a knifing is wild to me.
Okay, well, technically, I'm seeing stabbing in here as well.
Okay, well, stabbing seems more legit because if somebody's told me that 10 people died in a knifing, I wouldn't know what they were talking about. But no, dude, the fact that 10 people died, I mean, knives are super dangerous. And within a certain distance, I mean, even a gun is not going to beat a knife. I believe you can't draw and fire within, I think it's like 20 feet or something like that. But because you simply just don't have time. But we've literally had like body camera footage and stuff that we've gone over scenarios where it's like, hey, if this guy has a knife or a machete or a sword or whatever, then oftentimes, like if you have to draw a line in the sand as, okay, if he gets past this point, we're going to shoot him.
Right. If he does the chicken dance, we will shoot him.
Depends on how long he's doing it. Usually,
right.
20 seconds, you got to.
Yeah, and if he doesn't even get to the wiggle all about part, then he's fine.
Yeah, if he doesn't get there, don't trip. There's no lethal force needed. But that's crazy though. So what happened to the guy who stabbed somebody? Did they?
Well, dude, this is apparently this is a quote unquote indigenous community in Saskatchewan, meaning it's like native.
So it's like a native.
They're indigenous people.
Native American. It's still North America.
No. They call them First Nation up there, dude. First Nation.
Do they?
Yeah, except I don't know how they know they were the first. No one knows that. You know what I mean?
True. They could have killed.
Surely there were other people there. Who knows if your ancestors migrated over the land bridge or whatever?
Yeah, the ice bridge or land or whatever it is.
Yeah. So apparently this community is like fairly small. Like there's like a community of 160 people. It's dominated by 2 grain elevators. And yeah, so these 2 guys went around this little small community. There's 2 of them. And they just stabbed like 28 people. And one of them's dead. And the other one got away so far.
They haven't caught him?
They haven't caught the guy because it's in the middle of a Saskatchewan.
Well, how'd the other one die?
I don't know. It doesn't really give any details. I'm sure we'll find out in the next few days. But
that is crazy.
Yeah, dude. So do guns kill people? Yeah. But at least you didn't get stabbed to death. So
I don't know what I mean? Worse, man.
Mass killings still happen. Okay.
Yeah, they still definitely do.
And that's why
10 is a lot.
We're pro gun. We're pro tank. We're pro drone strike.
I should be able to have a drone.
Yeah, a military drone. We should have drones.
I want drones, dude.
Yeah.
I want all the drones. That's freaking. I'm just like blown away. 10 people? You'd think that like after the first one, people would be like, oh, this is an issue. Maybe pick up a rock. I don't know.
Dude, maybe they were super stealthy. Maybe they've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed and they're like, we know how to do this.
That's a good point, actually. We don't know how this panned out. It could have been like sneaking up behind. That's just wild, dude. 10 people? Do you even know what Canada's gun laws are? Because I don't.
No, I know that there's a bunch of legislation recently to essentially
like all handguns are out now. I'm pretty sure
handguns are out. I mean, I think it's all semi-automatics.
Oh, really? So which
is essentially everything.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Do revolvers count as? Yeah, revolvers are semi-automatic.
I don't know if they. You could argue
it probably depends on the law.
Yeah, it does. I think that's how you'd have to do it. And not all revolvers are semi-automatic. Some are.
Yeah. But guess what? Muskets still fair game.
Are they?
I don't know.
Should have went and grabbed their musket.
Dude, they should have grabbed their musket and just. Oh, you better let me pour some powder in here and let me crank it up.
I forgot my wad.
I'm gonna get you as soon as I finish pumping this in.
Or they could have just fixed their bayonet. Maybe bayonets aren't allowed, actually, under the Geneva Convention. I don't know that they are allowed.
Oh, really? Bayonets are not allowed according to the Geneva Convention?
I'm pretty sure. Something about that.
What? What is that?
I have to look it up.
How can we just full out don't ban knives then?
I don't know.
You should look that one up while we're talking.
I gotta look that
really
up.
Curious.
Okay, let me look it up.
Look that one up.
I'm gonna check it out.
In other news, we're going to go to some crazy stuff because I think people are just being going crazy. I think like the political temperature is ranking up. You know what I mean? Joe Biden, pretty tense little speech. Joe Biden, dude. Hey, Joe Biden is not Joe Biden right now. Okay. He's kind of angry. And there was a couple crazy tweets out there in the world. This one is my favorite. And I want to see if I can send it. You know what? I'm just gonna pull it up on Twitter. So it's Kathy Griffin. Kathy Griffin, go ahead.
The Geneva Convention set many of the rules of war, and in response to bayonets, it prohibits bayonets with a serrated edge.
So like jagged?
Yeah, serrated. It's like kind of like a saw.
Okay.
You've seen like the knives that are like have like a straight, and then it's like a
what
saw.
Even is the point of that then?
I don't know.
Like only serrated? Was serrated just gonna like mess them up more?
I think there's a lot of rules that don't make sense. I'm gonna say that right now.
Are saws allowed in war? Why can't I just go to war with a saw?
I think that's getting a little close to bayonets in the Geneva Convention, dude. I think personally, if you want to do war right, you should not use a saw. That's just my opinion.
Right.
If you want to be safe,
knives, like a Canadian.
If you want to war safe, yeah, you can. Yeah, use a knife, not a gun. Not in Canada, not a gun. So this whole thing's ridiculous, man.
We got several crazy tweets to show off. This one is pretty great. So this is our homegirl, Miss. It's gonna be hard to read, but I got you. This is our homegirl.
Man, look at
that. Homegirl Kathy Griffin, also notorious for talking about assassinating Trump openly on Twitter. Pretty gutsy gal. Now, I don't think she should be banned, and I think she should be allowed to threaten his life, by the way, or threaten assassination. But this is pretty funny. She tweeted, "If you don't want a civil war, vote for Democrats in November. If you do want a civil war, vote Republican." Boom. Mic drop. And now Michael Malice, who is an anarchist, by the way. One of my favorite anarchists. Very witty. He should be the press secretary. And he will be if the Libertarian candidate is elected president. Not likely, though. Anyways, he says, "I don't want to change your mind or argue with you, but I don't want to share a country with you either. A peaceful divorce leaves everyone better off." Boom. We just advocates that the country end. He's like, "You're right. We shouldn't be in the same country, Kathy.
Civil wars are bad. We should just secede."
Seriously. Anyways. Interesting stuff, right? What do you think? Kathy Griffin saying.
Who's Kathy Griffin? What is she?
She's like a actress, person, comedian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was making sure she wasn't a senator. I was like, I don't feel like a senator can say something like that.
Yeah, she tweeted a photo of like Trump's head on a platter type of thing. Yeah. While he was president, I'm pretty sure.
And that's not a call to violence, because wasn't that like the whole reason Andrew Tate got banned? Because apparently he was, or never mind, I'm mixing up the Alex Jones stuff.
Yeah, that's Alex Jones. Alex Jones got banned mostly for being an advocate that he thought that the Sandy Hook parents were crisis actors and that it didn't really happen, that it was a false flag event. Which, hey, big suck, but also that's kind of funny. I don't know. You thought something that was terrible didn't happen? Like 9/11 didn't really happen. Everyone in New York, they are paid off.
The crisis actors.
The crisis actors. All the New Yorkers. New York isn't even real. You've never been there. You just know people who quote unquote went there. They got paid.
I would like to know why he thought that wasn't real.
I think he takes it too far.
You think what?
I think he's technically, and this is, I think, with Andrew Tate as well. I think these guys, like, it's all wrestling, right? You've heard that phrase before? It's all wrestling.
Okay, so he's just faking it.
I think it's all a show. I don't think that they don't believe some of the things that they say, but I think they lean into their bits so hard that it's like it's wrestling. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
not like us. We're 100% real all the time. Real facts, hard-hitting facts.
I stand by what I said, dude. I don't think that you can claim women as property because there's definitely I've never seen a receipt.
Yeah, same.
And I
retweet.
I 100% believe that. I don't know how you're supposed to prove that.
Yeah.
So retweet it.
Retweet.
Let's tweet it. We'll tweet it.
We should start being more active from our Twitter accounts, by the way.
We should. Yeah. Well, I'll tweet that. Hey, I'm gonna tweet it.
Tweet it, dude. Tweet it.
And maybe somebody will prove me wrong. I don't know how, but
maybe.
Maybe.
All right, dude. In other news, good times. Man, Hollywood just be going crazy. Like, I think they're big mad. Like, do you trust Hollywood? Well, can you think of people in Hollywood? You're like, they seem like a reasonable person. Like, can you think of anyone?
I'm gonna be honest, dude. I don't know a lot of people in Hollywood.
I feel like it's.
But I would say Chris Pratt, dude. I feel like that guy's pretty reasonable.
Oh well, way to pick the one that's probably known conservative, huh?
Weird.
Dude,
Weird
just finished watching Terminal List, by the way, on Amazon Prime, featuring Chris Pratt.
Good stuff.
It's good, dude. You would love the heck out of it, dude.
I need to watch it, dude. Bro, you know who's hit me up recently is Steve-O.
Dude, big boy Steve?
Yeah, it's his birthday. Or it was his birthday like 2 days ago. You should text him, dude.
Dude, I need to call. Is his number still the same?
Don't text him, actually. Just message him on the old face of books.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay, good to know.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, good guy, Steve-O. Anyways, back to the hard-hitting facts. They're big mad. There was like this big interview recently with Jennifer Lawrence.
What did Jennifer Lawrence say?
Well, first of all,
what did my girl say?
What'd your girl say? That's what I was curious about.
What
you think she's attractive? Dude, huh? Are you into her, dude?
Maybe.
Like, hey, just putting it out there, Jennifer Lawrence.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Can't remember what she looks like. I'm gonna look her up real quick.
Maybe, dude. Let me look her up.
I feel like Jennifer Lawrence is like she's
Hunger Games girl.
Oh,
yeah.
How's my girl doing?
How's my girl doing? Well, I'll tell you how your girl's doing.
Hey, so Jennifer Lawrence, hit me up.
Hey, Jennifer Lawrence, if you're ever lonely, dude. If you're ever lonely, well, guess what, dude? There's a qualification you're gonna have to pass apparently in order to be your friend. She says, I can't F with people who aren't political anymore. You live in the United States of America. You have to be political. It's too dire. Politics are killing people. Boom. What do you say to that?
I mean, I don't disagree, dude. Politics are killing people.
Ooh.
I don't know, dude. I don't disagree with her. Hey, listen, girl. Listen, baby. I'm going to tell you why I agree with you. Because I feel like it's kind of weird that certain politicians get to break the law, but little old me doesn't get to. Seems a little sus to me.
Seems a little sus. Well, I'm so glad that you agree with her because she's got more to say in this very interview. Let me open it up. Jennifer Lawrence reveals two miscarriages and Tucker Carlson nightmares. She has nightmares about Tucker Carlson, Fox News contributor. Like, dude, because he's a Nazi, apparently. Slams Hollywood pay gap. I get paid less because of my
lady parts.
Her lady parts.
And anyway, I don't think that's true.
I don't think it's true in Hollywood.
She's a very high-paying actress, isn't she?
She's a very high-paying actress. She gets paid more than a lot of men.
She gets paid more than me.
She gets paid more than you.
Has she ever had to put her life at risk? Because I have, and I get paid less.
Right. Yeah, I think the only other quote, she's got so much stuff in here. It's stuff about
the two miscarriages. I feel bad for that. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh,
that actually sucks.
This is what she was saying. She often made far less than the likes of her male co-stars on American Hustle. That she earned $5 less. I like how this is the one they point out: $5 million less than Leonardo DiCaprio despite sharing top billing with. Oh, you made less than Leonardo DiCaprio? That's crazy! Wow.
Yeah, but that's because Leonardo DiCaprio is like the highest paid actor ever.
One of the highest paid actors. So you're like, hey, like the top 3 paid actors, they make more than me, and it's because I'm a woman.
I'm pretty sure there's other dudes that also made less than them.
Yeah. So no, make less than her. Yes.
I'm just saying less than Leonardo DiCaprio, but also probably less than her. So hey, listen up, sweetheart. I wouldn't worry about it.
Sweetheart, hey, don't worry about it.
Honestly,
you know what?
What if I can look up your net worth and it's over $3 million? Don't complain to me about it.
Why are you complaining?
You know what? Let's look it up right now.
All right, Dalton's gonna look up her net worth, and I'm just gonna say, quite frankly, hey,
who is that again? Jennifer what?
Jennifer Lawrence.
There it is.
Now I'll tell you what, dude. We've been pretty political in recent episodes. These are just like the topics that come up. We want to have fun. We want to be funny guys and have a good time and talk about ways you can improve your life and your gains and your mood. And so that's predominantly what we care about.
Highest paid actress in 2015 and 16.
Well, suck on that. I don't know. It's just pretty wild.
Her net worth in 2022 was $175 million.
I think
what I heard?
I think that's even more than some male actors.
You know what I heard would help with that, Jennifer Lawrence, is complaining about it. If you complain about it, you'll be worth $200 million in the next 2 years. Yeah. Or if you just keep doing what you're doing, because that seems to be working just fine for you.
You know what else I heard helps? I heard this product it's called Try-actin. Try-actin like a man. And that wasn't about sexism. That was just about saying the funniest thing at the time. Props to dude. Hey, props to Chris, my brother-in-law, for giving me that one, the Try-actin. He got it from his boss.
He did that to me recently, and I fell for it.
Yeah, dude. You got so hard, man.
I got Chris'd, man.
You got, dude.
I got Chris'd. Dude,
shout out Chris.
Shout out Chris. We love him.
Shout out Chris. Shout out Katie. Shout out Emery.
We love them. And
shout out Brooklyn.
Okay, Brooklyn. I was going to say, dude.
Shout out their puppies whose names I don't know.
Their puppies?
They got puppies.
It's Honey and...
Dude, how do you know the names of their puppies?
Bro, I hung out with Chris like last week.
Okay, cool.
Honey and the other one's not there, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But yeah, dude, that's man. I feel like Jennifer Lawrence is exercising her white privilege on this one. That's all I got to say.
She's being real white about this, dude. She's being a real white Karen.
Dude, it's really, it must be rough having $175 million.
You should comfort her.
I should. Hey, if you need comfort, hit me up. I could probably turn that $175 million into either 174 or 176.
Either it could, one way or the other.
It's gonna.
Now, is it gonna make much of a difference to you? No, it shouldn't, because you still have $170 million plus
1% of what you own. Hey, you're killing it.
Hey,
hit me up.
Killing it.
I wonder if we got married and divorced, if I'd get any of that, or if I wouldn't because I'm a guy. I don't know.
Probably not. You're a guy. I don't know how marriage laws work, but first of all, why does the government have to be involved in marriage? I just say, let's, heck them. Heck the government.
We're not going to get political anymore.
Okay, sorry.
But I agree.
Hey!
I don't agree. I don't disagree. I think it's dumb. Anyway, kids, Joe Biden's our emperor.
Joe Biden's our emperor. I got another topic for us. I want to end with something non-political and something funsies.
Let's hear it.
And, I'm going to be honest, this is funsies, okay? Jake Paul has a new dance partner. It's official. He signed his contract. His next fight, October 29th, Phoenix, Arizona. He is fighting Anderson Silva, former middleweight champion of the UFC. Boom.
How old's Anderson Silva?
Not important.
I got to know. How old is he?
He's old. He's retired MMA athlete.
He might even be in his 50s.
No, he's not in his 50s.
You don't think?
No, dude. He's 47, so he's It's 3 years before 50.
Almost to 50.
Dude, he honestly is older than I
gosh.
thought. I didn't realize he was that old.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Hey, I'm going to say this right now, though. Jake Paul,
right now.
If you do this, this is my idea. I'm getting a cut of this. If you beat Anderson Silva, you then have to challenge the actual middleweight champion, the king, the CEO of Bad Guy Incorporated, Chael Sonnen himself.
Chael Sonnen's been retired longer than Anderson.
Yeah, but we all know who the real middleweight champion was.
It's the real middleweight champion is Israel Adesanya, and that would be a really good fight if he actually fought Adesanya. He would starch the freak out of him.
You're talking about Adesanya, right?
Adesanya.
Okay, I was like, well, doesn't he just box though?
Who? Jake?
Jake.
Yes, but what we're talking about now, and this is for the non-initiated, the people who don't care or know about fights. But guess what? If you're a scout, you're going to care because we all are fighters in our hearts.
We care because at some point you're going to have to fight. Whether it's fight to get your internet to turn back on,
or fight Jennifer Lawrence because you won't talk about politics with her,
or fight the gender norm because you aren't getting paid quite as much as Leonardo DiCaprio. At some point, you're going to have to fight.
At some point, you're going to have to say enough is enough.
I've had up to here with it.
And just so you know, when he said here, his hand was high in the air.
He was about head level.
Anyways, Anderson Silva, here's the thing. Now, he did just beat, I believe it was Julio Cesar Chavez, an actual former professional boxer who was really, really good. Now, why
he was so good.
He was good.
The way that you describe it, it's just like there's no like he was this champion. It's like he was really good.
Dude, he was really good.
I believe you. I'm not saying I don't.
I honestly think this is a better. I think it's a better fight, honestly, than Woodley. I just think it's
really.
Yeah, I think Anderson Silva is a better boxer than Woodley was, to be honest, even though he's older.
Anderson Silva pretty much a jiu-jitsu guy?
No, dude. Not?
That's how he beat Chael Sonnen. That's the only way he beat Chael Sonnen.
Yeah, no.
He wrapped his head around him. His leg around him, I mean.
Striker. Yeah, that is what happened to Chael Sonnen. This is what happened, okay? Israel Adesanya for a time was like not Israel Adesanya. Sorry, I'm confusing them because they have similar tales. Yeah, Anderson Silva was so good at striking. He would taunt people. He would lean. He would just beat the crap out of them. Just
shows you how much I know.
Shows you how much you know, dude. And then he broke his leg against Chris Weidman. Big facts.
Oh.
But actually, first he got knocked out by Chris Weidman because he was playing around too much. Anyways, let's show some boxing highlights because I want you to see what we're dealing with here. And this is a very short clip, but he's actually a really good boxer, dude. Okay. That's Julio Cesar Chavez. He's just like really evasive, right? So he's like out of the way.
I didn't realize that Silva actually boxed. I thought he just did MMA.
And then he knocked the guy out.
How old is he in this?
This is like last year.
What?
Yeah. So this is what's amazing about Anderson Silva, and this is why it's probably going to be a good fight. Okay, is Anderson Silva is like he's kind of too old to be doing a whole MMA thing anymore.
Sure,
but apparently still a really good boxer.
I wonder, dude, you must be able to box longer, right?
He must have boxed longer.
I'm saying you must be able to box longer.
I don't know if that's necessary.
Like as far as a career, I'm asking. I don't know.
I think it's just like it's one dimension to focus on, and so the older you get, that's like easier to do. I think boxing in itself is probably easier than like MMA, which is like a bunch of stuff together. But maybe, who knows? I don't know everything. Anyways, should be a good fight.
When's it happening?
October 29th.
That's coming up.
Yeah, dude. You know what happens this weekend? You know who's fighting this weekend?
Nate Diaz, dude.
Nate Mother Truckin' Diaz.
I'm actually...
Odds are not good. Odds are not good.
Because that's on Saturday, right?
Saturday.
I'm actually going to be in Denver. I'm going to Ben's fight.
Oh, you're going to Ben's fight?
Yeah.
Friday?
I bought plane tickets. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, normally I don't have Fridays off, and I'm like, why not?
Dude, I would totally go if it wasn't for the fact that we're celebrating my son's B-Day this weekend. We have a family birthday party,
and you're going to the fair.
We're going to the fair. We're taking him to the fair. But I'm also going to watch these freaking fights, both Ben's fight and Nate Diaz's fight.
Because Ben's is streamed on UFC Fight Pass, isn't it?
UFC Fight Pass. Yeah, the LFA streams on UFC Fight Pass. Our buddy fights in the LFA. It's like not a big deal. He's just like really cool.
He's kind of a big deal.
It's kind of a big deal. He'll beat you up. No big deal. He's a big boy.
Destroy you.
They call him Vanilla Thunder.
The Vanilla Gorilla.
The Albaster Disaster.
The People's Champion.
The Albino Rhino.
I'm trying to remember the last one. It's like one of my favorites.
Cristo.
The Aryan Barbarian, dude. That's another good one.
I was gonna keep that one out, but sure, yeah.
Oh, I had to say it.
Yeah, dude. Let's go.
He looks like a Super Saiyan, dude. He's just got the hair.
He looks like a Super Saiyan with better quads than a Super Saiyan.
He really does have
God bless his quads. I've always wanted quads like Ben Tynan. Anyways.
You're right, dude. I need to work on mine. Oh, MRI's back, ladies and gentlemen. I have 2 herniations in my discs.
What?
Yeah, I got an MRI last week. I have 2 herniated discs.
Whoa, which ones?
I don't keep track of that.
They're in my back.
That's the doctor's. It's like
the doctor knows where they are.
Yeah, he said L something.
Oh, there's so
many. There's so many of them. They're back there though.
Yeah, there is a lot of them. They go all the way up your spine.
They go all the way up and down.
That's crazy. Yeah.
So that's
it's
cool.
Funny because last episode was about working out your back, and now
if you're lucky,
took blowing out your back seriously.
This guy takes it serious. Hey,
takes it serious.
If you want to get on my level,
blow out your back.
You will destroy your spine.
Herniate your discs.
You don't need those discs anyway.
Nah, nobody needs them. I mean, we got science now.
Yeah. You know what science does?
What?
Tells you got some bad back, dude. I don't know if they can fix it, but they can tell you what's happening.
Eventually, they just fuse your spine.
Well, I think there's surgeries, too, where you can actually go in and get titanium discs.
Ouch.
I don't know the rules of how it works, but...
Yeah, or you could get stem cells injected.
Dude, I'm down for that.
Yeah, dude, get stem cells. I heard it's made from baby blood, but yeah.
Baby blood?
I'm just kidding. That's what some people... It is. A lot of stem cells are derived from fetal tissue, like placental tissue. So... ripe for the plucking stem cells.
We'll see, but I thought you could just grow stem cells in like a lab.
I think they either have to be removed from your bone marrow, or
but once they have them, right? So if they take them from like your bone marrow, then they can grow them.
Maybe, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
We'll do some research and we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
They're one of the cool things that Joe Rogan does with his loads and loads of money. So I know it must be.
Does he really?
Yeah, he does stem cell stuff. He got his knee shot up apparently.
Bro, I need
shoulder shot up.
Where do you get stem cells at?
Apparently Mexico.
Really?
Some of these procedures are cheaper in South America.
I got insurance.
And sometimes you can go to the pharmacy south of the border and get a little, how we say, performance-enhancing drug.
I'm in, dude.
We're going to Mexico this year, just on a boys' trip.
And
nothing crazy, just boys.
And with that,
boys being dudes.
Boys being dudes, dudes being boys, you know.
Dudes being boys.
And with that, we've come full circle. Steroids.
Steroids. The theme of this podcast.
Every day.
Every day.
I say no. And
but
it's always an option the next day. So think about that.
Think about that, kids. Until next time, farewell.
And we...